What?
My volume was all the way up.
And now we're here. Late. It's 2 p.m. Central Time. It is 3 p.m. for Jackson over there. He just got out the shower. This man's nasty. He showers in the afternoons. Kidding.
I do shower in the afternoons, yeah. I don't think we've ever done a 3 o'clock show.
I don't think
we did 6 o'clock for a while, and I feel great right now. Like, I know a 3 o'clock show doesn't make much sense, but I'm excited for the day because this is perfect.
Yeah, it is a good time, and it's just honestly, it's my fault. So I woke up at 8:52 somehow. So I went to sleep somewhat early, and I'm actually rather pissed about it. So it was honestly because I turned my alarm to 8:52, and I never checked it, so the alarm didn't go off.
Classic.
Yeah, till 8:52.
I didn't have that late of a morning, but I had a late morning, and
So you woke up late too?
I didn't wake up late. I woke up at my time, 7:30, because I had a long day yesterday, and that's way too late for me. That's like, I had like 25 minutes to get ready for the show. I was like, fuck everything that's ever existed. Ever.
Yeah, I know. So
I need like an hour. Yeah, sorry.
No, okay. No. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I need like an hour before I don't hate.
You don't hate society.
Yeah, that's the word.
That's so funny that we both agree. All right, let's talk about Deni Avdija and Kristaps Porzingis. Kristaps Porzingis, guess what, buddy? He's staying in town, it seems like.
Yeah.
You're not as excited? He's having a career year.
I'm not a Wizards fan.
I told you, you denied me all year saying, oh, he's not going to stay. He's not going to stay. All right, guess what? He's going to stay.
Maybe. I mean, it hasn't happened yet. I think Kristaps makes more sense to me. I think Kuzma wants to be home, but his family likes his duration to Miami and London, and he's a big fashion guy. And he's got to go to France to eat croissants and fashion shows, and DC gives him a perfect location for that.
Kyle Kuzma has said he loves living there too, and that he wants to stay there, and that it's a top 10 place to live in America. DC.
You say that.
Nobody else is going to give them the
10 right now. I'll go through 10 right now. All right. Miami,
21 points tonight.
Chicago,
it's on
Phoenix.
Your heart. Okay. I'll help you out there.
Dallas, New York City, Texas, Austin. I mean, that's 5.
But there's no team in Austin.
Boise.
You suck. Those aren't NBA
teams. You didn't specify that. I didn't know these had to be NBA
top NBA teams.
You say but you say top 10 city as if you're talking about the entire America. So all the cities that's included.
Okay, just stop hating on DC.
But you've always said that.
We're going to talk here basketball. DC. What we're saying right here is the fact that we got ourselves, Deni Avdija is looking like this double. Could be like close to a double-double guy in terms of being like a 15, 17 points per game guy, dishing out like 5 assists, 3 assists, 7 rebounds. Sometimes has, a double-double, solid wing player. I think him, Kyle Kuzma, Kristaps Porzingis, and Daniel Gafford work really well. And I think Bradley Beal should stay. But I made a video talking about this last night or this morning. I can't even remember. I think it was last night. But a lot of people commented trade Bradley Beal. Like most of the comments were like, yeah, keep Kyle Kuzma, keep Kristaps, trade Beal. Like most of the comments were, let's trade Beal. Let's trade Beal, which I was like, what?
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I don't understand that. It has to be purely contract related. Like, imagine, so Bradley Beal, 29 years old,
Bradley Beal's the guy.
Chop, 3-time All-Star. This year, he's doing a great job at facilitating the basketball. We've seen that for the last 5 years of his NBA career. I think they paid Bradley Beal like he was going to stay a 30-point per game scorer. The Washington Wizards made a classic mistake, just like the Chicago Bulls, but it hasn't happened to Zach LaVine, and he was a little bit younger, but like they paid Bradley Beal on what he did, not what he's gonna do. And that's a classic mistake.
How hard will it be to
Beal, trade? I don't like the idea of trading the player Bradley Beal, but like the contract, I mean, yeah, it's interesting. But I'm not focused on that right now. I'm not at 29.
Trade Bradley Beal for Zach LaVine. I want 2 first-round picks.
That's not well, I don't know why Zach LaVine's better than Bradley Beal, so
no, Bradley Beal's better than Zach LaVine and way healthier. We're going to fight to
what?
Over. Yes! How many All-NBAs does Zach LaVine have?
Bradley Beal has played 60 games one time in the last 4 years, and he played in that one time 60 games. Should we play a quick game of what about Zach LaVine? All right, sure. We'll play a fun game of Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine in the last 4 years has played over 60 games 3 times. And the 1 year he didn't, he played 58. So that doesn't
win shares, baby.
There's no
win share. Win shares.
Well, now it's okay. So you're wrong on the other one. Win shares, probably still no. I don't have the stat, but probably no. Zach LaVine's better than Bradley Beal.
Okay, let's just talk about the Wizards here.
Zach LaVine, his words, best on-ball defender in the NBA. One of the
keeping Kristaps and Deni Avdija. Will it help? No, not Deni Avdija. Kristaps, Kyle Kuzma, Deni Avdija, Corey Kispert, Bradley Beal, Danny Gafford. That's the core. Throw in Monte Morris and DeLon right there. You got like 7, 8 guys right there.
I feel like we throw around the word core a little bit too loosely, but
what are you talking about this core? You got yourself.
When I'm thinking of
we just need a point guard.
When I'm thinking of their core, I'm thinking Bradley Beal, Avdija, KP, Kuz, Gafford's expendable, Monty's expendable, DeLon's
of course
extremely expendable.
All those guys are expendable, but those guys in Gafford, Wright, Morris, great bench guys. If you if you get me, you go out there. And, for example, D'Angelo Russell, I don't know if Russell would be a good fit. Maybe, let's say, somehow Mike Conley becomes available. You throw Mike Conley right there, Monte Morris off the bench, with DeLon Wright as well, Bradley Beal, Mike Conley, Deni Avdija, Kyle Kuzma, Kristaps Porzingis. Then your bench is now Corey Kispert, DeLon Wright, Monte Morris, Gafford, and Corey Kispert. That's not a bad 10-guy rotation right there.
I like the Conley one a lot. I'm thinking even, I think Gafford's more suited for like a complimentary role unless he were to be able to stay healthy or, I don't need him to take a leap, but I'm thinking, what if you paired a reasonably priced Clint Capella with him and you have them go interchangeably and you give them both 25 a night. But yeah, you're right. Definitely, a guy like Mike Conley would help this team so much.
I just think I think it needs to be a defensive first guard. It's got to be, obviously I would love if they could go out and get themselves I would hate for them. Not that I would hate, but like Colin Sexton and D'Angelo Russell are not the players they need. They don't need more scores. They need a defensive guy, a better player, a better version of DeLon Wright. And that's obviously a Drew Holiday-esque player. But, there's not many of those. And the ones that there are, they're not really tradable. And
Dare I say Tyus Jones?
We've talked about that. We've talked about how much I would love Tyus
Jones. Fits on all 30 teams in the league.
Oh, my God. Tyus Jones is one of those NBA players that you just throw him there and you're just seamless. A way that I could see this maybe work if they kept DeLon Wright and Monte Morris, he's a bit overpaid, but he kind of works. It would just be chaos, but it would be good chaos, and that's kind of his thing. Derek White, if they had a Derek White, Monte Morris, DeLon Wright rotation, I would kind of have faith in that point guard by committee.
Yeah, Derek White isn't too bad because they don't need that scoring. Derek White's shot some nights can
But his defense and his hustle and like what he brings, he would be the starter. Then you would bring Monte Morris to be like the more like level-headed guy, scoring guy, and then you'd have DeLon Wright as like the other defensive hound who can also play shooting guard.
DeJounte Murray before he turned into a star would have been perfect. But now, it's the ship's unfortunately sailed, Big J, on. Unless you're talking about Jamal, I think they don't need I don't need a 20. It's going to be too pricey to get a 20 guy. I don't think they'd be able to keep the same depth.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely. I think the pieces to be competitive again are there. It's just, can they execute and take advantage and do it correctly and get out of this like play-in paradox they've been in the last few seasons? Do you agree with me? Like, they have the guys like we've talked about: Corey Kispert, Deni Avdija, Kyle Kuzma, Bradley Beal, and Kristaps Porzingis. I agree with you. The rest of the players are expendable, but there are a couple of those guys in DeLon Wright, Monte Morris, Gafford that would be good rotational role players if you can bring in better starters.
Or better it just comes down to price. I think, and by the way, it's been more than a couple of seasons, but yeah, you're right.
Don't hate. All right, let's talk about a team right here. Jonathan Kuminga is huge for whatever success the Golden State Warriors hope to have. With that being said, Andrew Wiggins has missed, I believe, 23 games at this point. He is allegedly, according to Steve Kerr, working out and is in basketball shape and should be ready when he does return. They're still expecting him. Jonathan Kuminga had a strong performance. Jordan Poole had a strong performance. We talked about it. I mean, surprisingly, Kuminga started last night. We saw Kevon Looney come off the bench, but we expect a starting lineup to be Kevon Looney, Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, Klay Thompson, and Stephen Curry, with Jordan Poole, Jonathan Kuminga, Dante DiVincenzo, JaMychal Green, Anthony Lamb making up, and Gary Payton II making up an 11-man rotation. And I'm not a Warriors fan, and I was just with Pee Wee the Plug. We did a interview. He said he doesn't believe in the Warriors like he did last year, and he's written them off. Are you writing off the Warriors?
No. People make this mistake all the damn time. I think, I love Dante DiVincenzo. I think he's more. I mean, he only played 22 minutes last night to make sure he started the game. Dude, Kevon Looney, I think he had 6 offensive rebounds. Kevon Looney and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, like, they won the basketball game for them, with Draymond Green, obviously in there. More Draymond than Klay. Klay made some shots, but Kevon Looney needs to start, but I've said that so many times. Andrew Wiggins, when he comes back, I don't think it's a matter of when Andrew Wiggins comes back. It's the same thing with like Klay or Steph going down last season. Like, they have experience playing together. Andrew Wiggins is such a good two-way star, such an under-recognized how big his impact is. I mean, we saw it in the Dallas series. We saw it in the finals against the Celtics last year. Like, you could argue, those series could have been completely different. Their outcome could have been completely different without Andrew Wiggins. So, I view him as extremely important to this team. But I think, the comeback win from Pelicans was huge. People hate on Draymond Green. I saw some big YouTuber talk about Draymond yesterday, how his time's coming and someone's going to smack him. I would love to see that, because Draymond Green is one of the best players in today's era. He's done so much. They win 0 championships without him. I mean, maybe they find a replacement for him, but
how bad is the road playoffs, though? Sorry to cut you off right there. How bad is the road? Because did you see what I flashed from Jalen Johnson? We'll see in the playoffs, but they need to win games on the road come playoff time. That is shout out Jalen Johnson, my guy.
Well, they just won their first back-to-back, or they just won their first consecutive road playoff, like in 2 straight games, in the first time in like I think 2 months it was. If we were talking about a team like Sacramento, yes, if Sacramento had 9-29 road, I'd be worried. I'm not worried about a team with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins about their road playoff. I mean, maybe if they had 1 ring as opposed to 4, I'd be a little more hesitant. But I don't understand the writing off of Golden State. If they're in the play-in tournament, things can get a little bit dicey. I don't want to play Memphis in the first round of the playoffs, regardless if it's Golden State, because Memphis is a really good basketball team. But they should be able to take down Minnesota and secure 6. And I'm sorry to Sacramento, but if it's Sacramento, Golden State, I'm going Golden State. So they won't have home court advantage. I understand people love to say, I can't think of a single player on the Golden State Warriors roster outside of maybe like Anthony Lamb who's going to have an issue playing in a road playoff game. The argument for these players, and I know Shaq's a big guy who believes in this as well. If you're Steph Curry, obviously you want to be at home. You shouldn't be in a Game 7 situation. If you're in a Game 7 situation, that's your own issue. You've had 3 games to figure that out. So you don't even want to be in that. I don't view Golden State as being in a position until maybe like the Western Conference Finals. The West is so open, though. I'm not worried about going to Denver for a Game 7, because if you're going to a Game 7, you had plenty of opportunities to win the series before then. You shouldn't have been in that spot, but I'm not worried about Clay, Steph, Trey, Wiggins on the road.
If they go in and they play someone like the Kings and they win, do you have belief that this team will –
they'll win the NBA Finals?
Do you think who they play in the first round and beat will dictate what they could maybe do?
I don't. I think Memphis is unideal, but I still believe they'll get the 6th seed. And then who would you play? Probably Memphis then. Memphis is a really good basketball team. I just think that this could be the last year of the Warriors. It's just.
With that being said,
the Warriors will still win the NBA Finals.
That's a great pivot. Boom. What do you think of this?
Oh, I saw your tweet. Well, yeah, you got to think about the income tax. I think a gay.
What?
I just said gay on accident. I think a guy like Draymond Green on a team. I think a guy like Draymond Green is exactly what Luka Doncic needs to win a championship. I don't know if he'll go to Dallas. I don't think he'll be with Golden State next year. Dallas is a very good destination, and I think he would be. I don't think Kyrie is a difference maker to Dallas winning a championship. I think a guy like Draymond Green certainly is.
How insane would it be if Draymond Green, LeBron James, Luka, Kyrie were all on the same team, and then you bring in Bronny James?
Oh,
Mark Cuban starts bringing LeBron James on Shark Tank.
Shark Tank's still running?
Yeah, you don't watch it, bro? Sometimes I get real stoned and watch some Shark Tank. Shark Tank's still good, dude. If there's nothing on TV and I see Shark Tank on Hulu and there's like a new episode, I'll sometimes just be ripped and watch Shark Tank. But you know what's fucked? They only show good ones now. They used to like show like people like fucking up or like terrible ideas, but I feel like there's less and less terrible ideas.
That sucks.
I want to see failure. I love feeding off of other people's failures. I'm like a girl. Like I love watching, like women love watching other women tear other women down.
Classic. But, yeah, once they started rotating in randos, I lost interest. But so if you want to pinpoint Kuram's comment here, I have a fun fact. Fun stats.
All right, yeah, if you want to go there. But yeah, hopefully we see
click
this. Well, give me a fucking second, you asshole.
Well, it has to do with Memphis.
Let's talk about Memphis.
Oh, shoot. Oh, my bad. I thought I got Dallas and Memphis mixed up. Yeah, you're right.
You're a twat.
The best suited half-court heavy playoff. Basically, here are the best half-court offenses against top 10 defenses since the trade deadline. The Knicks are number 1 or 5. Jeez. Sacramento's number 2. Indianapolis is number 3. Milwaukee is number 1. And Memphis is number – I got it mixed up again. I'm clearly retarded and can't talk. My point is this.
You're not supposed to say
Memphis, since the trade deadline against top 10 defenses in the half-court offense are the 4th best offensive rating team. So that, I love the Curran, but
I think right here, I think the Grizzlies are a team. I believe in the Kings more than I do the Grizzlies this year. Nothing against. Is that rude?
No, I don't think it's rude.
Do you believe that?
Understandable. No.
You believe in the Grizzlies more than Kings? I believe in the Kings. I think the Kings could be a team that upsets somebody.
I agree fully. I just think, if the second round was Memphis-Sacramento, and I have money on Sacramento, and I'm part of the problem, as Bradley Beal would agree with, I think that Memphis would win easily. Maybe not easily. They'd win. So.
Okay. I can't argue that. But
they have the experience. But I certainly understand the switch to it. I just think I think a team with Triple J, Steven Adams, and now Xavier Tillman, a stud. I think
he has been a stud.
We we know this is the issue with Sacramento. When you play a team like Minnesota, it's so evident. It's when you have a team like a guy like Triple J and Steven Adams and Xavier, I think, and a guy who's going to get into the paint, John Morant, and maybe put Sabonis in foul trouble. I would lean towards Memphis and the defense.
You know who's a team that I think I chose them as my team to match up with the Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals?
I don't know. Okay.
Tonight, Kevin Durant returns from a sprained ankle. I guess he's going to skip the layup lines from now on. Yeah. But what I do want to say is the fact that this team, if healthy, should be the finals favorites besides the Denver Nuggets out the West.
Yeah, well, I don't agree with the latter, but I agree with the former. Yeah.
You're a hater. That's what you are.
I'm not a hater. I'm just keeping it a buck. About the Suns, you're completely right.
So, what is your expectations tonight from Kevin Durant? It seems like every time Kevin Durant comes back from injury, he does not disappoint. Always puts on a performance because that's Kevin Durant.
Who do they play?
Give me 1 second. This is bad. Kevin Durant will return from a sprained ankle against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Durant sprained his ankle pregame before what would have been his home debut with the Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant has missed 10 games with his injury. Thank you, Sean Sharani of The Athletic, for telling us this. This has turned into an ASMR, the NBA show. I hope you guys do like this type of basketball content, but I'm over here. Can you hear me whisper into the microphone, Jackson?
I'm barely.
Yes.
I heard the
But no, 30 points tonight for KD says.
I agree. He'll be around 30, and they'll win.
Oh, they'll
as
win?
Good as Minnesota is right now. Yeah. They're 3-0 with him. Their offensive ratings through the roof. And that was the whole thing. And we haven't talked too much Phoenix since the last 10 games because what the hell is the point of evaluating a team without their best player and when their best player has played 3 games with them before? You just can't evaluate them. So I agree. I think a healthy Phoenix team on paper is the team that's going to make it to the NBA Finals. DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and it's just OP. It's OP AF, bro. And I think, maybe if you play 2K, you probably see it, but they're just OP, bro. AF. So.
AF, OP, AF. I think, regardless of the bench stuff, I think Terrence Ross has done a good job. Landry Shamet, Jacques Landell. All right, the Aussie. I think this team is way better than people give them credit, and let's just wait. Just let them rock, and it's all going to come out. So for me, I think the biggest thing is just figuring out how, when Kevin Durant comes back, when they play a team, who do you think is a team that's going to give them potentially the biggest problem? Like when they play like the Grizzlies or Nuggets, do you think any of those teams are going to give them problems, especially against like they don't really have like a power forward. They're weak at like well, I guess Kevin Durant's a power forward, the wing, like it's Josh Okogie. He's been doing a really good job, but like let's not sit here and be like he's what are your thoughts right there with that thoughts? Okay, a healthy Clippers squad, Armis Jones brought up right there. That's a good Zubats, Kawhi Leonard. I mean, I don't know if Paul George will be there, but
you'll love this. I think Denver would be iffy. I think a second round matchup of Phoenix Denver would be unbelievable. I think, I agree. Clippers. I think most teams actually in the top. Gold State. I think most teams, Lakers even. That's the issue with Phoenix is, and that's why I'm thinking about shooting teams, even like Sacramento. Phoenix's issue outside of the lack of wing depth is they don't take free throws. They don't get to the free throw line like at all. They're one of the worst free throws.
And people, I don't mean to cut you off. Attempts. People said we were stupid for bringing up free throws. Free throws are free points. Okay. Yeah. Good teams have, as much as you might hate people who draw free throws and shit, that's how you win basketball games in the playoffs. Continue.
Exactly. Well, and I'll even go further. Let me just get a quick fact check on this, but 3-pointers made, they're middle of the pack. If Book is struggling, if they're double teaming KD and Book's struggling, Ayton and Paul, probably still give me like 25. I worry about a team either locking them up and getting more free throws than them. That's essentially my worry with Phoenix is if they're not making shots, what the hell are they going to do? But KD changes a lot of that, so he'll help with the free throw problem. But I don't have a good enough grasp on Phoenix because we haven't seen enough of it without KD. So that's the concern, is lack of wing depth. Is that going to even be a part of it? But, Booker's struggling one night. If you get a matchup like Memphis and, they match up well, if Triple J's on KD and I have Dylan Brooks on Devin Booker and they're not hitting their shots, it does pose concerns but the thing with a team like Phoenix and a guy like Devin Booker and a guy like Kevin Durant is they're not going to struggle for an entire playoff series. But as we saw last year against the Boston Celtics in the first round, you get the broom out. I don't even know if we have a broom here.
I think, look, I think this team can definitely go far. The one question mark is health. And if they are healthy, the only other question mark is the Josh Okogie wing position. Can Josh Okogie, Torrey Craig hold it down?
Yeah. I don't think it'll be as prevalent.
You think?
I really don't. I think having a guy like Chris Paul being
Fix
your
it,
playmaker
hides that.
And prolific scores like KD and Devin Booker. I don't have too much Okogie and Terrence Ross and the latter. They'll have wide open shots. Actually, they're going to have a lot of open shots because all the defensive pressure is on the other players. It's a point of emphasis. I don't know if it's a huge concern for me. I don't really have huge concerns for Phoenix. I'm not even worried about health. I think they'll stay healthy when they need to stay healthy, which is right now
the most important thing. I just think it's hard to look at this because you look at the situation and it's just an odd one because you said it best. We just don't know. It's 3 games we saw with Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. Is this something that can be? Will it work? We don't know. And that's another thing is with this team, Zion Williamson. I think Pelicans will give them more trouble fully healthy just because Kawhi and Paul George have issues guarding Ingram, and then you have Zion, who's a bullet. CJ McCollum, Trey Murphy, Jonas Valanciunas, Herb Jones. Do you think a healthy Zion Williamson takes this team over the edge.
Well, yeah. Without Zion, I worry because of games like last night against, last night against Golden State. So, they're not a finals team without Zion. I don't think they're a finals team in general. Even without Zion, you see plenty of flashes of the number one team in the West that they were to start off the season. But, yeah, I don't. They're a hard team to get a gauge on. Once again, it's they're without their best player, and they've been without their best player for the majority of the season. And, Brandon Ingram's really good. He can only do so much.
I've heard reports that last year Zion could have played in the playoffs, but they held him out for just to be safe. And this year Zion is going to play in the playoffs. He wants that playoff experience, and that's what he is hoping they'll let him do it. So I wonder if that will.
He's right. The Pelicans with Zion beat the Phoenix. They almost beat him without him. They almost beat the Phoenix Suns. First round of the playoffs is an 8 seed.
No, you're not wrong.
And it was the same issue last year. It's like, the West is deep, but are they top heavy, or are they just mid heavy, or what is not mid as far as mid, but like, are they more middle top heavy? But the West is open for grabs.
It is definitely a weird situation. Again, it's another team like the Suns where they haven't been healthy, so we just don't know what team we're going to see.
Yeah.
And I hope, Zion comes back. Again, there's a lot of questions, and he really wants to play, and that's a big thing that he wants to play. We just haven't seen him play.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. Will the Pelicans be in the playoffs, like past the play-in? I think they've started to put it together. Brandon Ingram looks like that dog. Like, Brandon Ingram is that guy. And
he missed a chunk of the season too.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part. So what is going to happen? And I just don't know what to expect at this point. And I don't say that in a mean way. It's just kind of unlike the Suns, where they just have such dominant players where I can kind of just say, oh, they'll figure it out. I can't say that for the Pelicans. And it's kind of, this is the same thing with the Clippers. I can't believe in the Clippers because they've dogged me so many times.
Yeah. Trey Murphy needs way more than 9 shots than he did last night. I'll tell you that too.
Yeah, no, I couldn't believe they only gave him 9 shots, which is wild to think about. And with that being said, what do you think with a team like, let's just pivot right here I had one last thing I wanted to talk about before we wrap up today's show. I think we did a good job. I mean, we averaged like close to 8 or 9 guys on here. A midday episode. What do you think? But wait, before we wrap up that Zion talk, this is something that I'm so stupid. We didn't even bring this up. So the whole thing is not even the fact that with Zion Williamson is he's participating on court workouts and will be reevaluated next week on a potential return.
Ooh.
Chris Haynes said that this is not a given that will be cleared in time. He's been out with this hamstring injury since early January. He's in the process of trying to return. He did suffer a setback, which has prolonged his return. Is that just the worst news to hear in the world if you're a Pelicans fan, that like he's trying to return, but he doesn't know why? Like, not doesn't know why. He just got hurt, and we don't know if he will be.
Yeah, I mean, Aramis could probably attest to this, but it's just the reoccurring theme, unfortunately. I want a healthy Zion, and it's the same thing as last year's playoffs. If it puts him in jeopardy, and it is what it is. He's still young.
That's a good point. Now let's pivot over here. Our last news of the day. We didn't talk about it yesterday because it broke right after we got off, and that was our man Ben Simmons is done for the season. And supposedly this is actually part of his procedure. Like, this was to be expected because of the procedure he had last year. They were expecting him to, I guess, like, this to happen. So I don't know, like, really the specifics, but they basically said this was a foregone conclusion that he was going to be out at one point because of the procedure that he had last year. So what are your thoughts right here, and what about it with him? Are they going to trade Ben Simmons? I personally have been comparing this to Brook Lopez and Dwight Howard, where Dwight Howard, he played like 9 games, 2 games for the Washington Wizards, had a 9-inch cyst on his back, and then finally got surgery, went on to play, 3-4 more seasons, win a championship with the Lakers. And then Brook Lopez missed all of except one game and then the playoffs of last year, and then comes this year's having arguably the best season of his career and has been resurged at 24. Thoughts?
This isn't a surprise to me. It does seem like Brooklyn is trending in a different direction. I think they'll do everything in their power to retain Mikal Bridges and hope he's a star right now. I hope he molds into a superstar. The trade is difficult because you have him for 2 more years. Luckily for Brooklyn, they're in a position where they're a little bit more lenient with time. The whole concern I have with Ben Simmons is he had a back injury, back surgery, as you're mentioning, but the reason he's shut down for the rest of the season is a knee injury. So is it the back? Is it the knee? Is it mental?
It's the back. It's specifically the back.
But he's shut down right now because of his knee.
No, it's because of his back.
It's his knee.
It's his back. He got shut down for nerve and pigment in his back. I'll read you Ben Simmons' agent. His agent released this right here today. Ben Simmons' agent, okay.
He's played 100 minutes in the last 2 months, I believe.
In the wake of being shut down for the remainder of the 2022 to 23 season with a back injury, the Brooklyn Nets' Ben Simmons reportedly is not expected to require surgery. SNY's Ian Begley said that Ben Simmons' injury was diagnosed as a back impingement. Begley added that Simmons' agent, Bernie Lee, told him Simmons is not expected to need surgery and hopeful to be back by training camp. Simmons' story is shaking up to be one of the unfulfilled promises and disappointment. Skip that. Okay, so basically what we're hearing here is I saw a report where Bernie Lee came out and said that this whole thing was to be expected. And I'm going to Ian Begley's post right here. And specifically, Ben's process of seeking out information on what's going on has been very lock-in-step effort with the Nets to clearly get an understanding of how to give him the opportunity to not only get healthy, but also his best path to long-term sustainable health, which allows him to regularly participate and play at the highest level, something he has done since entering the NBA. We feel like we've been given solid clarity as to what he's been experiencing today and why, mostly importantly, what needs to happen moving forward to allow him to move forward with consistency and regularity. And I can't find the quote about this that I read this morning. It's like it's disappeared off the internet.
Well, that's what I'm saying is he had a back injury. He has a back injury, but the reason he's played 100 minutes in the last 2 months is because of his left knee and also the back. So it's like, is it the back? Is it the knee? Is it mental? Is it all three? What is it? He got his knee drained in early March, 1 month ago, and he missed time post All-Star break because of left knee soreness and also back soreness. And it's like, where the hell did the knee thing come into play here? Do I need to be more worried about the back, the knee? Are they intertwined? Is it mental? Like, there's just so many questions around Ben Simmons right now that it's like, yeah, definitely shut him down. He's got 2 injuries and maybe a mental thing. So it's just, I agree with the reports of this was expected, and yeah, it's been unfortunate for Brooklyn.
No, I agree. It's been unfortunate. I'm trying to find this long ass paragraph about Ben Simmons that someone left me. And all right, here. His biggest problem isn't just health or his confidence, it's his personality. Healthy confidence can be fixed in an easier way, but not personality. He's a very narcissist, unsympathetic person. It just shows clear as day. That could work if you played an individual sport, but not as a collective. There have been plenty of statements saying that he's disliked being told what he needs to do to expand his skills. He likes everything to be handed to him with minimal effort. Players that played with him don't like even talking about him, not even to criticize the professional former basketball players, now commentators, feel disgusting when they do have to talk about this dude. That statement that his college coach put out before he entered the NBA is so accurate. His personality just shows he's not a good person. He's very sneaky, unpleasant type of person. Ben Simmons tried to hook up with his friend's former wife, Michael Blackson. That shows the true colors of his awful character. The dude was #1 pick. He had the chance to play with Butler, Embiid, Kyrie, and Durant, and those guys didn't want to be nowhere near him. Kobe was so wise and he spoke the truth. If he didn't develop a jump shot, he would regret the rest of his life. Simmons just didn't care for Kobe's statement. He has so much potential. He could easily be an excellent two-way player. Then he chose to just be a defensive player. That is simply such a waste of talent. But now the dude can't be on the court when he can. He's a below-average defender. He's merely a very superficial person that cares too much about the attention he thinks he's entitled to, a lot more than the work he's supposed to. His back can be fixed. His confidence can be fixed. But that kind of personality, that's a lot harder to fix. It will take a lot of humility and soul-searching by him. Currently, even if he gets healthy, gets basketball confidence back, no roster in the NBA wants to play with this dude. It's what someone commented.
Yeah, okay, that was I had one question and three statements. Was that on a YouTube video?
Yeah.
Okay, how many times has he met Ben Simmons? Oh, that's right, 0. How many times will he meet Ben Simmons? 0. Oh, that's right. He has no idea what it's like to be in a person of Ben Simmons' shoes. So his comment, his opinion is disregarded, just like majority of people, because most people are idiots, but not anybody who watches this show. Secondly, Elvis made a song about his girl's best friend. So where was that with that in that comment? And then it's all stupid. People have so many opinions on people they ever met, and that's one of the whole issues I have even doing what I do is I've never met these dudes. So what the hell am I to say about Kevin Porter Jr.? What the hell am I to say about Ben Simmons' mental game? And then my final comment is, yes, Kobe Bryant is right. Ben Simmons needs a jump shot. But at the same time, Ben Simmons is a career 15-7, or probably not anymore, but was a career 15-7 and 7 player, several-time All-Star, all defense, all NBA, you name it. He's got it all. He has all the accolades in the world for a 25-year-old basketball player. But yeah, he needs a jump shot. That's not a wrong statement to me. I hate all these speculations on Ben Simmons is an asshole. Like, sure, maybe Ben Simmons is an asshole. You know who also is an asshole? Michael Jordan.
That's very true. All right. You got anything else to say before we head out of here? I think we did a good job with this. I would just also
Lakers.
That'll be
Game
good.
Of the year.
I also uploaded all the TikToks and YouTube shorts while you were doing one of your rants.
Nice.
I'm about to go fucking play babe dog sit. A different dog.
Nice. Ooh. We'll see you out there.
All right, so I'm also officially moving to Florida as of today. My girlfriend got waitlisted from Denver.
I was gonna say your girlfriend was the big.
Yeah, so right now that was the only school left that could decide that. She also got in the mail from the University of Charleston, a bag of grits. Say, you bring the grit, we'll bring the grits. It's like a huge ass bag of grits.
What aren't grits like things you order at breakfast? What are grits? Yeah.
It's like Southern, like. But no, so basically, yeah, no. So she got waitlisted from Denver. So right now she's waiting to hear from Miami. Should hear from Miami in the next 14 days, but she already got accepted into the Florida school. So we're moving to Florida. It's just now matter if we're living closer to Miami or if we're living in Fort Lauderdale. So I don't know if that helps you make a decision if you haven't made one already.
Yeah, I'm living here probably for another 6-7 months. And I will live hopefully nowhere near Miami, but near enough. If I got to commute, I'll commute. But yeah.
We talked about it, just living in Fort Lauderdale. That's not Miami.
That's what I'm saying is Fort Lauderdale, Boca, Hollywood.
That's what I told you. I'd only live 1 year in Miami if I go to college there and if my girlfriend also went to Miami. But if my girlfriend's going to the law school in Fort Lauderdale, I'm going to be living closer to Fort Lauderdale and just hopping on the metro and just commuting by metro to Miami.
Yeah. I'll commute if I got to commute. If we make it stew, whatever, because I'll be at the stew all freaking day and night, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
about an hour drive max, whatever it is.
So if you want, me and my girlfriend, and I think we're going out with her dad. Also, the NBA show, TikTok is right there. Mr. 81 was acting. Go check out the TikTok. We do clips. Go check out the Instagram. It's blowing up. Shout out this guy over here. But
it is doing nice.
But what I wanted to say is in May, late May or early June, my girlfriend and I think her dad is going to come with us. We're going to – what, do you just poke yourself in the eye?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
We're going to go down to Miami, and I think we're going to meet my dad's friend who's a realtor and look at places. Don't know if you wanted to tag along.
I'm so happy you asked me. I'd love to tag along. I am crying, though, from the eye.
Oh, my God. We're about to finish the show without playing.
Oh, shit.
Let's go. Oh, my God. This is so easy.
Ty Washington Jr.
Really?
John Morant is in it. I think I did that the last time it was John Morant.
You know what time it is?
Testing your speakers.
If you guys did enjoy today's show, be a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like and subscribe button. Like whatever you're watching on here. We've been going double-digit likes for let's go 4 days in a row, double-digit likes.
4 days in a row. Let's do it.
You got anything else to say to these beautiful people? I'm going to eat some Italian sausage after this.
Dang, nice. I was going to go to the store to buy sauerkraut for some ground beef, but we were going to do the show, so I didn't. And I don't.
Why sauerkraut for ground beef?
It's a good combo. It's a great combo, actually.
That's so fucking weird. If you had corned beef, that makes sense. You fucking twat.
No, dude, you just throw the sauerkraut on the ground beef and you just let it rip. Maybe throw some rice in it, too.
I don't even want to hear this. You're ruining my appetite.
It's good. Sauerkraut's really good, man. I'm telling you.
That's it.
All right. Cheers.